Alrighty, what's going on, everybody? My name is Blitzwinger and welcome back to another episode of my WWE Universe mode. Thank you very much for enjoying the pay-per-view. I hope you, for those of you that haven't seen it, make sure to go back and check out our very first pay-per-view, of course, Unforgiven. We've got some news to announce coming outside of the pay-per-view. After that brutal main event between CM Punk and Goldberg, Goldberg has actually suffered some serious tendon issues, so basically he will be out for at least what is rumored to be the next 6 to 8 months, so it is really dependent on how he recovers from that, when he will make his return. But that being said, other than that, of course, we did not see any title changes on that particular night. All champions were successful on their first night of title defenses, so that was definitely a great night to be a champion. The other announcement that I'd like to make is that from now on, basically, guys, what I decided is I'm not really satisfied with the way that the universe mode is kind of picking things for us, and not necessarily making it like actual intriguing storytelling, and kind of random at times. Like the rankings are kind of almost based on who's got the highest overall. So I don't like that. And basically what I decided to do is we're gonna, in order to not upset anyone, we're gonna do this on Monday Night Raws. I will book the show based on how I feel, and I will try to tell a story that I feel like I could come up with. And then Smackdown, I'll let that show be completely simulated and leave it up to the universe mode to decide who are the contenders, and all of those factors will be completely up to the universe, or the whatever it is, the system that they set up, the arithmetic code that is supposed to, wow, that's a good word, logarithms that are set up in place to calculate who's going to be challenging and things like that. But that being said, let's get into Raw. This is the first show that I completely booked top to bottom, so without further ado, let's get into it. We've got the opening match. Of course, as I always do, I will play through one match throughout the night, and probably cover like some sort of moment throughout the night as well, like I'm doing right here. So that will be definitely a theme that will be recurring throughout the entire shows, but I will also cover kind of the storyline aspect. Okay, where is he? What the heck? Where's Primo? Okay, what am I? Okay. He should be right here. What the heck? Where is Oh, sorry. I made a mistake. Yes. I was looking for the wrong guy. He's in the match. Epico. So, sorry about that little mishap there. Here we go. Our opening match of the night will be Primo versus Kofi Kingston. Of course, Primo and Epico are hoping to become #1 contenders, or the new #1 contenders for the tag team titles. Kofi Kingston and R-Truth were very successful, and what was a very one-sided attack and victory by them over the team of Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler. Of course, Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler are going through a lot of turmoil, and there's a lot of rumors backstage flying that apparently Dolph Ziggler has now kind of put into to Jack Swagger that he would like to part ways. So next week, in our co-main event of the evening, we will see actually Dolph Ziggler go one-on-one with Jack Swagger, and that'll be definitely a heated matchup, especially due to the fact that these two used to be a tag team and a relatively successful team. But Dolph Ziggler feels like he wants to go into a singles career, so that will definitely be an intriguing factor to see unfold throughout the night on next week's Universe mode, so make sure to tune in next week. But that being said, here we go. We're going to be kicking off this episode. I don't know why this is loading so damn long. This is very odd. Alright, there we go, finally. We've got Kofi Kingston and Primo ready to go. In our opener right here should be a high-flying... Oh, God. What was that? Seems like Primo just took down Kofi's head. Uh-oh. And there's Epico, Primo's partner. What's he doing here? What's he doing here? Oh, God. There's that backbreaker. There's that backbreaker. My goodness. What the heck? What is going on here? What is going on? Come on. This is completely not fair. What is happening? Epico is waking up the referee. Oh, come on. Come on, that is not fair. Of course, the general manager told him that the stipulation will be if Primo can defeat Kofi Kingston here tonight, then they will become no more contenders for that tag team gold. And I mean, technically he did win, but was that the best way to go about doing that? Come on. That is completely cheap and cheating. Wow. So, we definitely got that set up and going. We've got our tag team division a little more active, and now Primo and Epico are obviously going to be setting their sights. But the announcement that just came in to me from the general manager is the fact that now Epico will have to compete against R-Truth here tonight, later on in the night, to see and kind of allow the team of R-Truth and Kofi Kingston to avenge that loss that they suffered earlier on. Alrighty, but first, before we get to that, we've got Kelly taking on Beth Phoenix in what was a very cool, spectacular match where Beth Phoenix really showcased her power and her size advantage over Kelly, and Beth is definitely starting to rack up those wins to allow herself, to position for that, of course, women's title that Alicia Fox currently possesses. Next up, we had Epico, who this time R-Truth was able to regain a victory after this distraction provided by Kofi Kingston, returning the favor that he earlier on suffered when Primo defeated him. That being said, Primo and Epico still have got that number one contender spot, so come the pay-per-view, we will see the tag team gold being put on the line by Kofi Kingston and R-Truth versus Primo and Epico. Oh, speaking of Dolph Ziggler, he got himself into a lot of trouble and at the same time organized himself quite a match here in our co-main event of the night, as he will be competing against Chris Jericho. And this was an absolutely spectacular match, and I'm starting to think that maybe Dolph Ziggler chose correctly by separating from Jack Swagger. A victory over Chris Jericho here tonight definitely showcased that Dolph Ziggler can not only compete in a singles contest, but can be very successful at it as well. So it will be definitely intriguing to see how Dolph Ziggler is able to progress and position himself and climb the ladder in the singles career that he has now endeavored on. But before that, of course, he must not forget that next week he will be facing off against Jack Swagger, as Swagger wants revenge. And in our main event of the evening, the one and only The Rock makes a return against Triple H. It will be a spectacular contest here. The Rock, of course, out for 2 weeks after that brutal match with Kane. When The Rock came back, he found out that Triple H has now been rewarded to be the number one contender for the WWE Championship. But The Rock said, what the hell was that all about? And The Rock demanded tonight to face off against Triple H and prove to the world once and for all that The Rock is back. As much as I agree that The Rock has proven that he is back, he wants to position himself for Over the Limit. It will be the Brahma Bowl versus the voice of the voiceless, CM Punk, who has been a very, very long reigning champion. Will the Brahma Bowl be able to put a stop to the WWE Champion run of CM Punk come Over the Limit? But before we jump ahead of ourselves, the Brahma Bull has to walk ahead of the game, and that's no easy task. We will see a spectacular match here tonight in our main event. Triple H, of course, always game, no pun intended there, but he is always prepared, and considering that he found out that he might be the number one contender for CM Punk's title, I think that he must be just as driven just as much as The Rock, to win tonight and make sure to secure that number one contender spot against CM Punk so that he could contend for the title come Over the Limit. So here we go. Triple H with a big clothesline here opening up the match, and another one to The Rock. Of course, The Rock is not 100%. He has returned a little early. That is definitely a true fact. A lot of people were asking if that was true or not. It definitely is true. The Rock is not 100% here tonight. He could definitely be in better shape. But that being said, it is very rare that you see competitors compete at 100% within the WWE ring. So it is completely fine. Oh God, there's that pile driver. We don't see that maneuver very often. It's a very dangerous move and must be executed properly. Triple H with a quick pin cover, and The Rock surprisingly kicking out at the 1 count there from that brutal pile driver. Now Triple H sending The Rock to the outside. And what's he going for here? Oh God, he's going to bring him in here with a suplex. A great little move there by the game Triple H. Of course, the King of Kings. Oh, and here comes The Rock now with his right hands. What's he going for here? Oh God, no. That's very dangerous. Oh God. Triple H in a lot of pain there, but as I was saying before, The Rock, of course, had that brutal contest with Kane, and even though he did position himself to be #1 contender, he was unable to compete the night of the pay-per-view, of course, at Unforgiven, which is why they had to, Goldberg had to step up and compete against CM Punk, and step up he did. It was an absolutely spectacular contest. Make sure to go back and check out that pay-per-view. It was our first pay-per-view. I promise you guys that, of course, they will be getting better down the line as we get more and more experience under our belt. Oh God, The Rock now with a big elbow right to the back of the head of the Game. Can the Game fight back here? Oh, speaking of fighting back, the Game now delivering a couple right hands after dodging that high impact maneuver from The Rock, and now it looks like the fight's gonna go to the outside right here in front of our audience. And the Game continues with those big right hands. Oh my God, he just delivers that spine buster on the outside to The Rock. My goodness, the Game celebrating, but The Rock is up. The Rock is up, as confused as The Rock is. He is up. Oh God, the Game just delivered a brutal neck breaker there. Looks like the Game just slid back into the ring to make sure to break up that count. My God, you can definitely tell that The Rock is not 100%, but a not 100% Rock is still a very, very dangerous Rock. And of course, the Game wants to position himself with the victory in order to become #1 contender. This is a #1 contenders match. I'm sure that CM Punk is watching this match closely backstage. Oh God, there's a brutal pile driver from the Game on The Rock on the outside. And the Game now slides in the ring. What's he going for? Oh, what the heck? He just flipped off the audience, I think. Oh, never mind. I guess he was just celebrating with the audience. That was a very oddball celebration by the Game. A head takeover by Triple H and a quick cover. One. Oh, nice kick out there by The Rock. I'm very surprised that The Rock is so much still in this game. So much in this match still. Considering how much damage he has already suffered, I cannot believe that he can still, perform as well as he has. But then again, it is The Rock, after all. We've got the Game in a quick predicament here. Oh, Rock again, offering up a lot of resistance for the Game. The Game so far looks to be dominating, and another spine buster from Triple H. Will this be over? Because Triple H seems to be setting it up for that patented pedigree. Can he hit it? Can he hit The Rock with the pedigree? Come on. He's got the one arm, the second arm. He's got it locked in. Oh, what a pedigree. High impact. It must be over now. 1, 2. The Rock kicks out at the last moment. Triple H cannot believe that. And now The Rock is up. And The Rock is delivering some big right hands. A head takeover and a big elbow to the back of the head. The Rock still offering up a lot of resistance, but he is bloody. He is beaten. He is definitely clawing and scratching for that opportunity for the WWE Championship. The Rock feels like he is disrespected. The Rock feels like he has not been ranked and contendered fairly, because of course a lot of people view him as a guy that used to come here for a few days, get a paycheck and leave. Now The Rock has committed himself fully again, but unfortunately he's unable to get those big stipulation matches. He's had to go through an absolutely brutal war with Kane, and speaking of brutal wars, he's putting on quite a brutal war here with Triple H as he just slams his arm right into the mat. Of course, that arm was heavily injured in the previous match in Triple H's career with Brock Lesnar, and it seems like The Rock has done his research as he just put that boot to that candy ass. Oh God, now The Rock delivers a spine buster of his own. The Rock is giving Triple H a little bit of his own medicine there. Triple H able to kick out at 1. And I'm sure that at this point The Rock is impressed. Okay, wow, Triple H just knocked him right into that corner. Full force. There was no stopping Triple H at that point, who is now delivering brutal shots right to the head of The Rock. And the audience counted up to 10 there. And now Triple H with a quick pinning predicament here. 1. Oh, now The Rock still in this again. The Rock is very dangerous here tonight. Big body drop by Triple H. Oh, and he eats a big right hand into that sternum. Oh, what's The Rock going for? The Rock bottom out of nowhere. Out of nowhere, The Rock delivers that rock bottom. And will this be rock bottom for Triple H and his chances to contend for that WWE Championship? Yes, it is! The Rock wins, and The Rock becomes #1 contender for CM Punk's title at WWE Over the Limit. My goodness, what a match. You want to talk about a main event? You want to talk about two guys that really show how much they care about that WWE Championship? It is these men, and I'm sure that CM Punk wasn't too happy with either one of these men winning, but considering that the Brahma Bull is coming for him, that will definitely not be something that he will be glad to see. Uh-oh. The Rock tried to show some sportsmanship there to Triple H, but Triple H was not having any of that. Well, there you go. Thank you very much for watching Raw, and let's tune into SmackDown. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoy that. I definitely booked it the way I think will be effective. I've got a lineup now all the way up to the pay-per-view, and let me know what you guys think about the plan of me booking the Raws and then letting the SmackDowns kind of advance on their own and let them play out whatever way is booked. Oh yeah, of course, I also forgot to mention, I've added the DLC Pack 3, Antonio Cesaro and Damian Sandow to Raw. Damian Sandow has yet to make his debut on Raw, so be on the lookout for that. I also added Jimmy and Jey Uso to SmackDown. So, speaking of Jimmy and Jey Uso, we've got Jimmy Uso versus Rikishi. Of course, these guys are actually family members, so very cool to see that. And we had Jimmy Uso. I'm not sure if Rikishi... I don't think he's their father, is he? I don't think so. At least I'm not 100% certain. But we had Jimmy Uso prevail over Rikishi in what was a very, very cool contest. Wow, we've got Dolph Ziggler and Jack Swagger teaming up once again to take on Primo and Epico. That definitely needs to be changed. Should have done that. Sorry about that. There we go. We must disband that tag team. And now we're able to go back. Please, game, let me go back. Okay. There we go. That's a much more interesting tag team contest. We have Primo and Epico, of course, who were in a very controversial situation on Raw, but they earned themselves a victory here on SmackDown against Team Cobra, another competitive team within the highly competitive tag team division of the WWE here on the Blitzwinger channel, and they prevailed in what was definitely a great little contest. And we had Sin Cara go to war with the Cruiserweight champion, Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes gets himself another W, a very impressive Cruiserweight champion, really starting to rank up those Ws and really starting to raise a lot of eyebrows and turn a lot of heads. We have, well, that's a problem again. I'm sorry about that. I don't know why. I thought I eliminated. There he is. Come here. We can't have two Damian Sandows. That would be kind of a funny story, though. Like, imagine they're like, what the hell? There's a Damian Sandow on SmackDown and a Damian Sandow on Raw. How is that possible? But we have Justin Gabriel and Sin Cara. Sin Cara was in a match already. Jeez Louise, okay. And in our main event of the evening, ooh, that's a very solid main event. We've got Randy Orton versus Mark Henry, which will be the match that I will play through for sure, because that is the most intriguing match out of all of these, that's for sure. Of course, Randy Orton earned himself a very big victory on our very first pay-per-view at WWE Unforgiven, where he was able to overcome Chris Jericho in what was a very, very solid wrestling match. Arguably the match of the night, for sure. It was an Extreme Rules match. Make sure to go back and check it out. And tonight, if Randy Orton is successful in defeating the former number one contender, Mark Henry, I am certain that that will definitely put his position up there to contend against Sheamus' World Heavyweight Championship, maybe at Over the Limit. So without further ado, let's get into this match, as we've got Randy Orton taking on Mark Henry. Here we go. Now Orton delivers a big boot right to the stomach of Mark Henry and follows it up with a big European uppercut. A DDT for good measure there to the one and only Mark Henry. Orton, oh God, what a show of strength right here early on from Randy Orton. Wow, I was very impressed with that move there by Orton, who now delivers a standing dropkick to the big man, the world's strongest man, I should say, Mark Henry. Orton with that thirst press now and the big right hands to the temple of Mark Henry. Mark Henry suffered a lot of damage at Unforgiven, so of course he's in a little bit worse off shape than Orton is. Orton definitely has that advantage going for him, where he can kind of dictate more the pace and pick and choose how this match will go, because of the fact that no matter how competitive the match between him and Jericho were, he did not suffer nearly as much damage. Oh God, look at that DDT. Speaking of damage, as Mark Henry did in that World Heavyweight Championship match against Sheamus. And now Orton seems to be sending Henry right to the outside. And now Orton is following him right out. My God. And now they're right in front of me right here. Orton with a couple of shots right to the gut there of Mark Henry, and follows it up with a good combination of moves here in front of us. And now, what's he going for? Oh, it looks like a neck breaker here. Very impressive. Orton definitely feeding off the audience here. And now Orton with that big clothesline, that patented clothesline. At this point, it has become such an effective tool. Speaking of effective tools, there's that backbreaker that Orton has also made so very successful for himself. And now Orton sending Mark Henry back into the ring. He will not be satisfied with a count-out victory, and I'm sure that that will not earn him the #1 contender spot. So he wants to win this match, and he wants to win this match dominantly. He wants to make sure that he positions himself as the #1 contender, and there are no ifs, doubts, or buts about it. Randy Orton now took Mark Henry's back there and delivers a big back suplex to the world's strongest man. It's been a very one-sided battle so far, but as I mentioned before, Mark Henry has suffered very serious damage at that Unforgiven pay-per-view. In my opinion, Mark Henry should not even competed here tonight, but Mark Henry, of course, earned the respect of the audience in that match with Sheamus, and he really said here tonight, when he was offered this match, he told the general manager that I will take the match gladly, and he did not care what kind of damage he took. Of course, our medical staff did not recommend him to actually compete here tonight, but he decided to go ahead and compete. And Orton, the Viper that he is, he simply does not care, and you have to respect that about Orton too. He does not let his emotions get to him, which is something that will make him very dangerous against our World Heavyweight Champion Sheamus. Here's that back breaker again. Sheamus, on the other hand, at this Unforgiven pay-per-view, lost a lot of the audience's respect. A lot of the audience felt that Sheamus pushed the line. He went too far. He did not have to do what he had done. My God, there's that RKO. And now Orton picking up Mark Henry and goes for another RKO. It's almost like he was certain that one would not be enough. 1, 2, 3, and the Viper wins, and another W. What a week for Randy Orton. He got an amazing victory against Chris Jericho at the pay-per-view, and now he just defeated the #1 contender, the former #1 contender for the World Heavyweight Championship in Mark Henry. An absolutely spectacular week for Randy Orton, possibly one of the best weeks any performer has ever had. What is Daniel Bryan doing here? That's Daniel Bryan. Daniel Bryan is up there on the stage, and Orton's calling him right in. Of course, Daniel Bryan is in the mix for the title as well. And what will happen next week? Will it be Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton? Will Sheamus get involved? Make sure to find out next week. If you guys enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to not miss out on any future episodes. Hit that like button, and of course, if you guys could also share the video and favorite the video, that would help me out a ton. I'll catch you guys next time on another episode of WWE Universe here on the Blitzwinger channel, as we will take a look at the next week of Raw and Smackdown. Peace out, guys. Thanks for watching. I'll see you later.